The next story is more grim. This one affects each one of you, all of us, whether you're watching us from Hong Kong, Hawaii, or Honolulu. There is a global cooking oil crisis, one that will soon roast your kitchen. The world's biggest producer of palm oil has blocked exports. The world's biggest exporters of sunflower oil are at war. The producers of soybean oil are battling the climate crisis, and so are the producers of canola oil. Then where will you get your cooking oil from? How will your kitchens run? You may not be living on fried food, but even if you swear by salads, you will need oil for the dressing, you will need oil for the mayonnaise, you will need oil for baking, for cookies, for pizza dough. You will need oil even for air frying, but oil supplies are running dry. Do countries have a plan B? Should you be stocking up? We'll answer these questions over the next few minutes. We'll start by looking at what's happening around the world. Ukraine is the world's biggest exporter of sunflower seed oil. It exports 5.4 million tons of edible oil every year, which is almost half of the world's sunflower oil. But Ukraine is at war, and supplies have been cut. Russia accounts for 25% of the world's sunflower oil, and Russia is the one waging this war. In other words, supplies have taken a hit there too. Then we come to Canada, the biggest exporter of rapeseed oil, but crops shrunk after Canada experienced record heat in 2021. Argentina, Brazil and Paraguay are among the top exporters of soybean oil, but these countries are battling severe drought. Malaysia, the world's second biggest exporter of palm oil, is facing labor shortage, so its oil exports are down. All in all, oil supply chains are drying up. And adding fuel to this fire is Indonesia. This country is the biggest exporter of palm oil. But as of today, the 28th of April 2022, Indonesia has banned palm oil exports. Why? Because of local shortage. Prices in Indonesia are up 40%. People are protesting, so the government has decided to ban exports. And this country alone accounts for 1/3 of the world's vegetable oil exports. That's 30 million tons of vegetable oil every year. Indonesia's biggest buyers are India and China. India depends on Indonesia for nearly half of its palm oil. India, in fact, is the world's largest importer of edible oil, 13 million tons every year. 60% of this is palm oil, 25% is soybean oil. Sunflower oil accounts for 12% of India's edible oil imports. What explains this huge oil import? High consumption, that's one, and insufficient oilseed production. In India, the per capita oil consumption is around 19 kilos per person per year. Where will the oil come from now that the supply chain is drying up? What are India's options now? Well, Malaysia is the second biggest exporter of palm oil, followed by the Netherlands, Germany and Estonia. But put together, they cannot compensate for Indonesia's exports. Meaning, the demand is way more than the supply. In other words, a price rise is unavoidable. Experts say prices could go up by at least 20%. Indians will feel the pinch. And developing countries will be the hardest hit because they depend on cheaper cooking oils like palm oil, as against the more expensive options like olive oil, soybean oil, sunflower or canola. Of course, the developed countries will also suffer. In the United States, for instance, soybean oil prices have already soared. Soybean futures doubled after Indonesia announced its export ban. In Asia, palm oil has risen nearly 50%. In Europe, rapeseed is up 55%. Globally, vegetable oil prices increased 23% in March, and it will get worse. So what should you, the consumer, do? Should you be stocking up? Well, panic buying is never the wisest way out. In the United Kingdom, supermarkets have already begun rationing cooking oil, sunflower oil, olive oil, rapeseed oil. They're all being sold in limited quantities. In some supermarkets, the limit is 2 cooking oil packs/bottles per customer. Same with Spain, Germany, Italy and Turkey. They're all rationing oil. Some experts say countries could divert vegetable oil from fuel tanks. You see, biofuel accounts for nearly 15% of vegetable oil demand. So if that 15% is diverted to kitchens, then there may be a little respite. But will countries do that? And more importantly, will that be enough? An expert gave the verdict on India. He told the media that there would be shortage. There is no way to increase supplies. In short, this is geopolitics hitting home. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.